color would you spontaneously associate with love and vivacity, passion and power? It's obvious, isn't it? Red. Red is the color of love. It radiates warmth and a strong sense of vitality. And red is also the color of the ruby, the king of gemstones. In the fascinating world of gemstones, the ruby is the undisputed ruler. Rubies are composed of aluminum oxide in the form of a mineral called corundum. Corundum, in its natural state, will be colorless. But sometimes the corundum will contain a trace of chromic oxide, thanks to missing aluminum ions replaced by chromium ions. When corundum and chromic oxide are joined by a metal called vanadium, these elements can be heated and pressurized beneath the Earth's surface to create the bright red crystal we call a ruby. Rubies are desirable for their color as well as their hardness, 9 out of 10 of the most hardness scale. The color varies from pale pink to the deep red known as pigeon's blood. For example, chromic oxide gives a ruby red hues, while ferric oxide gives it a little bit of yellow. The rubies with the most intense shade of red have high levels of titanium. If a ruby has pink, purple, orange and brown shades, it is caused by chromium and iron. The amount of color depends on the amount of metals. The luster of corundum is vitreous to pseudamentine. Even though the color can vary, the streak of this mineral is white. The crystal structure is trigonal. It can be shaped like a pyramid or form into an hexagonal dagger. No cleavage, but the fracture is irregular or uneven conchoidal. The special characteristics of this mineral is that the index of corundum is around 1.77 and is the second hardest mineral in the world next to the diamond. It is formed from aluminum oxide, which is common in metamorphic rocks. Historically, some of the world's finest sapphires, rubies and spinels have been found in a remote geological zone known as the Mogok Stone Tract, which is situated in the high-altitude Mogok Valley in northern Burma, which is now called Myanmar. In the 4,800 square kilometer area that comprises the Mogok Valley, there are over 1,000 ruby and sapphire mines, many of which are small-scale operations. Burmese ruby is bred for its famous red, pigeon's blood. Burma and Thailand are the major sources of natural rubies. One of the two methods which have been used to distinguish the Burmese ruby from the Thai ruby is the examination of their colors. Colors of Burmese rubies range from pale pinkish red to deep red, and some fine quality but rare Burmese rubies have a pigeon's blood color. Thai rubies exhibit color variations from strongly violet to deep crimson, but typically have brownish to purplish overtones. Identification of these rubies by their colors can be subjective and maybe not always be reliable. The other method employed by gemologists and experienced gem dealers is to look at the ruby inclusions by using the microscope. The characteristic color and inclusion of rubies from a certain source are obviously linked to the source geology. Most Burmese rubies are There are other types of rubies which come from Tanzania. The ruby deposits are found in regions near Songea. The color of these rubies resembles the garnet so closely that even jewelers are often baffled by their closeness. It has been noticed that the intensity of color diminishes with size. Therefore, the smaller the Tanzanian rubies are, the more valuable they are. Madagascar is another source for top-of-the-line rubies, although Madagascar rubies are relatively new to the market. The mining area in Madagascar is in the Andilamena and Vantomandrit regions, where the rubies can be found in a wide variety of different igneous rocks. There are differences in the rubies from each area. The rubies from the Andimalema region are best when they receive a heat treatment. The ones from Vantomandrit do not. The Vantomandrit rubies have orange, red and pink highlights. A third type of rubies are the Afghanistan rubies. They have been mined at least as far back in the 1st century. The mines are in the Badakhshan and the Jagdalek regions. More is known about the rubies that come from Jagdalek, which produces rubies that can range from faint to deep red. The Jagdalek rubies have qualities not found elsewhere. They can have purplish tint and a fluorescent shine. safe set, it has an RI of 1.76 to 1.77, a double refraction of 0.008. This double refraction, as it is called, causes anything viewed through the stone to appear slightly double. Thus, the edges of the rear facets appear slightly doubled. The specific gravity is around 4. The spectrum, or absorption spectrum, are the ranges of light which are absorbed by a material. The spectrum of ruby is characterized by fine lines in the red, the stronger being a close doublet at wavelengths 6942 and 6928. There is also a broad absorption area cutting out the yellow and most of the green of the spectrum, the violet too being absorbed. The luminescence of chromium-colored corundums, which are rubies, pink and violet sapphires, is a strong crimson light which is the same whatever radiation is used. The fluorescence of ruby has been suggested as a test for distinguishing between rubies from Burma and those from Siam of Thailand. Besides the color, spectrum, and luminescence, the inclusions become an important role to recognize a ruby. There is a typical inclusion called silk, which is actually a mass of minute hair-like crystals of rutile. Is one of the most striking of all the inclusions. The silk is usually short and intersects at 60 or 120 degrees. The silk, which has been previously mentioned, may so impregnate the stone that the tubes or fine needle-like crystals, running in 3 directions parallel to each pair of prints faces, completely fill the crystal. The stone is cut in the cabochon form from such material, so that the base of the cabochon is at the right angle and 3 rays of white light cross the stone, producing a 6-point star. This is called the Starstone's ruby. Some of them have been found in Sri Lanka.
So these are Madagascar rubies. It's all rough, small stones. These are all natural color. It's a lot of purplish stones, purplish blue stones.
Purple is blue, going blue.
So the blue gets taken out when you heat it.
Yeah.
And then we just have, hopefully, red stones, more usable material. It's all pretty clean. It's all real small. These are all much less than a gram size. Probably 1 to 1.5 carat size rough. Most of these stones will be cut down to 2 millimeter, maybe certainly under 3 millimeter. Most of them, right? Less than 3 millimeter. 3 millimeter?
Yeah. 3, 1.5, 1.6.
1.5 to 3 millimeter. That's used for commercial jewelry and manufacturing in China or in Thailand. He puts it in the crucible.
Okay, done. Rất rồi.
Yeah. This is real heating. If it wasn't hot enough in Sri Lanka, it's a little bit hotter now.
Mẹ ăn tét kia nó thế này? Ăn tét.
So how long are you going to heat the stones?
This is 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah. 3 hours.
So what temperature would these be heated to?
This is 400, 500.
That's it?
Yes.
Low temperature.
Can drink beer.
So here is an example of a piece of glass of 2 carat. The material doesn't worth a lot of money, so the people, they doesn't spend much time on this. And usually the faceting is very bad, and you can see a lot of scratch. You can see a specific roundish, junction facet, and that is a typical of the glass. Here is another example of glass. You see the material is very soft and you see a lot of scratches on the table. You will see a lot of abrasion all around the stone, and that is something you will never see on any corundum, and especially a ruby. So when you see that, take care. Here is a typical inclusion you can find in glass. It's a bubble, and you will never find any bubble in a natural corundum, natural ruby. So if you see a bubble, better take care. Here is another example of glass. You see that the junction facets are very roundish. That means the material is very soft. You can see, by the way, directly on the facet, some casting mark that you will never see on any corundum, any rubies. Here is not the same material. Here it's a crystal man-made. It's a synthetic ruby grown with the flame fusion Verneuil method, and that's kind of inclusion you can see is the powder that is still in the crystal that haven't been well melted, and with very teeny bubble. Here again, it's another example of those curved growth line in the synthetic flame fusion crystal ruby. It's very easy to see, and when you see that in a stone, you know for sure, 100% sure, that stone is not natural. Here is an example of that new treatment they are doing in Bangkok, Thailand. It's a lead glass filling corundum. This stone is a 1.77 carat for $50, and you can find even lower price. Usually for a professional it's a very easy to detect because they have a lot of glass, so you will find a lot of bubble. And the other thing you can see that the stone doesn't look very nice. It's not opaque, but it's like translucent. It's a little bit dizzy. The stone look a little bit dead, and so you have to take care because a lot of people are selling this on the web today, and it's a very bad stone. Here again, lead glass filling over 2 carat for $300. That is already too much for this kind of material. The next stone is a 3.5 carat for $100. Look at the color, look at the clarity, it's very bad. It's looking more glassy than a corundum. The last one is a 4 carat for $200. and just the price give you an idea about how bad that could be. Here is a very nice example of a red garnet. You see that stone have a very nice color, very nice brilliance, and can be used as an imitation for a ruby. So you really have to take care. For the specialist, it's very easy to make the difference. The price for that stone won't be more than $200. So if you sell it as a ruby for $500, you already make a lot of money. This stone is a 2.5 carat. It's a red corundum. Have been treated by beryllium, and it's a very nice because you see the color is a beautiful red. Usually they are more orange, yellowish, something like that. But that will make a perfect, beautiful imitation for a ruby. And the price for this stone it's around $200 to $300 per carat. Here is a nice specimen of a natural spinel. You see the color is beautiful. The stone is 2 carat and worth maybe like $2,000 or maybe more in the market. Now, if you think about the same size for a ruby, at least the stone will worth $10,000 or more. So with a beautiful spinel, you can make an easy mistake. Here is another beautiful natural red spinel that can be used for a simulant for a ruby. It's a 1.6 carat for around $700 to $1,000 per carat, and that's make a pretty good imitation, I will say. Here is some of the natural ruby we have seen in the video. This one is the small natural one, no treated African, from 45 points. And the market price for that stone will be around $1,000 to $2,000 per carat. It's depending of the trader. The next ruby you're gonna see, it's a 52 point. It's a natural ruby, no treated, and the price will be, I will guess, more or less the same. Will be negotiated around $1,000 to $2,000 per carat on the market. The next ruby is of course natural ruby, no treated, 67 point. Price will be more or less the same, $1,000 to $2,000 per carat for that one. The next one is still natural ruby, no treated, 71 point. And the price will be a little bit higher, between $2,000 to $3,000 per carat for that stone. You see here we have a very special cut we call checkboard cut, and it's not the best cut, but the color of the body it's very good. Here is another one, a ruby natural no treated from Mozambique. 94 points, so nearly a carat. That will be negotiated, I guess, around $2,000 to $3,000 per carat. Color is very nice. I like this ruby very much. The next one is a natural ruby, 1.69 carat, and it's a little bit included. So I guess the price on the market for that one, that is a no treated, will be around $4,000 per carat, maybe a little bit less. The next is a big ruby from Tajikistan. It's a 6.19 carat. I don't know the price exactly of the stone, but I know I guess the price will be around $30,000. And it worth it. Here we have some beautiful ruby. That is a small one, a little bit over 1 carat, and the market price was around $5,000. Of course, all those stones are natural, no treated. You can see this one is even included, but the color and cut is beautiful. The next one is one we have seen in the video. It's a Burma ruby of 1.16 carat, and the stone is very clean. And that will be around $4,000 for the stone. The next one is a ruby from Tanzania. It's a 1.67 carat, and the market price for this one was $7,000. You can see the clarity is very nice, the color is very nice. Even if there is a little inclusion, that doesn't hurt at all. And you can see that the price of the ruby is still very high. The next one is a ruby from Madagascar, and it's 2 carat. This one is a little bit more included, but still worth $3,000. So you see that it's $1,500 per carat, and it's not the same price at the glass or at the synthetic. The next one is a ruby from Badakhshan, and it's 1.17 carat and was sold for $15,000. This ruby is beautiful, even if it's a little bit included, and some people love just this color, you know, a little bit of purplish in the stone. This beautiful stone, it's a 8.2 carat natural ruby, not treated, and have been sold by Christie's a few years ago for $3.6 million. So that gives you an idea of the price of the ruby on the market today. Thank you very much for watching all those videos. I had to cut them by piece because I'm not allowed to make movies that is more longer than 15 minutes. So I hope you had the patience to go through them, and I hope that will give you a good idea about all the trick you can find in the market and the real price more or less of the ruby. And if you have any question, or if you have any special request or special subject that you want to see about gemology for stones, from lab instrument or whatever, feel free to post them here in the YouTube, and I will make my best to give you an answer as quick as I can. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye bye.